All right, welcome to Book Club. I'm Dylan, here with the man who brought peace to the Middle East. Keith, what's up, buddy?
This was like 25 years ago book. It's
just
crazy
about
how much things have changed.
Here at the Buddy Book Club, we're breaking down some bestsellers, and this week we'll be discussing the late, great Vinnie Flynn's 2023 thriller, Executive Power. If you'd like to recommend a book for us to read or reach out to us in past episodes, you can visit our website, buddybookclub.com, or slide into our DMs on X or Instagram. That's Buddy Book Club Podcast. Listen to us iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Download, subscribe, 5-star review, please, and thanks. Send us a note if you want. We like that stuff. Keith, Executive Power, 4.32 on Goodreads. It's going to get a little confusing here, but this is the 7th book in the storyline, the 6th to feature Mitch Rapp, but the 4th by publication date.
Right. But this is the 3rd Mitch Rapp book and the 3rd one we've done.
No, it's the 4th Mitch Rapp book.
No. I think he wrote one before without Mitch Rapp.
Yeah. It's like term limits or something like that.
Yeah. I think it had Coleman in it, and then he carried him over, but then he's like, let me try this Mitch Rapp dude. And everyone's like, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Let's keep him in every single book from now on.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of surprised after this one he didn't do another pivot. I got a book report for you, and here we go, in front of the class. We last saw Rapp in Separation of Power, where he took down a corrupt politician and made Ben Friedman cry, but not before his identity was exposed, and the always secretive Rapp was thrust into the limelight. Forced to take a desk job as middle management in the CIA, not all was looking down for Mitch. He married Anna and whisked her off to an island honeymoon, where he was thrusting not into the limelight, but into the moonlight, sunlight, candlelight. It's basically a nonstop sexcapade. Upon returning home, Mitch, double-fisting Pedialyte to get his fluids back up, of course, finds out about the botched rescue of the Andersons, which involves 2 of the 3 things he hates most: dead seals and career politicians who put their own interests ahead of national security. What's the 3rd? You don't need to know the 3rd. It's carnies, circus folk, nomads, you know. As if Mitch needed a reason to jump out from behind a desk, stop cracking numbers 2 pencils and start cracking skulls. We see flashes of old Mitch during his Philippines excursion, which has absolutely nothing to do with the story. What is the story, you ask? The story is about how some guy, not Mitch Rapp, is creating so much chaos and bloodshed inside and outside Palestine that he forces the United States to vote for a free Palestine at the UN. Oh wait, it's not the chaos and bloodshed that's forcing the US's hand. It's a potential oil embargo with OPEC. That entire storyline is less exciting than a full-page detailed explanation we get of Rapp's tan, scarred, dappled, muscly torso in Chapter 1.
Wow, that was a long book review. That was great. That was, I think the effort alone, I think that's a straight A.
Oh, wow. It's one of the better grades. All right, thanks. Well, that is the book, so we'll text you guys for the next one. No, let's get into some stock up, stock down. Keith, what do you have for stock up Executive Power?
Stock up being disciplined.
Oh.
I don't know if you caught this, but this book, I think the word discipline was referenced no less than 100 times. The SEALs and Mitch Rapp get out to the Philippines to take down the kind of the Philippine army / guerrilla warfare-ish / terrorist.
It's Abu Sayyid or something like that, and they were being hunted supposedly by the Philippine Special Forces.
Right. So They get out there and they're surveying the scene, and every single time it's just like the discipline of this army. Let me tell you, like, they're setting up signs for the commander so you can know the snipers know where to shoot. They're not at full attention at all times. They're like lounging around. They're not scoping the forest for X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, the whole time I'm like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. They're not doing that. Then I'm thinking about, this is the Navy SEALs for a country that has the biggest defense budget ever. That is fully trained, ready to go in and attack these people. These people have just been, they're like militia guerrilla troops that are just like out in the Philippines, probably don't get like 3 square meals a day. They're not trained well. They don't do these things. They're just shitting on them. I kind of felt bad for them. I mean, we have like a $500 billion like defense budget going into these trainings. They have like $500 maybe to send out. I mean, think about the money that he offered, by the way. The guy, he's like, I will give you $200,000. I'm like, $200,000? That wouldn't even be a line item in the U.S. military's thing. That would be seen as like miscellaneous cash. Like that's not even something that would be even considered. And he's like, I'll give you 200. Like, these people are desperate. So I just thought it was funny how much they were shitting on discipline the whole time. I know what Mitch Rapp or Vinnie Flynn's doing here is he's kind of trying to teach you like how military should operate in terms of what their mindset should be. But I also feel bad for the average Philippine gorilla who's been sitting out the rainforest getting rained on for 3 months and is not fully at full attention during a hurricane. So just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, and General Morrow's on the take, so he doesn't really care. They're not going to attack him. He's not going to attack them. Right. So it's like Mitch being critical of a game that he also know is rigged. So, I mean, the one thing that stood out to me for that was the sign, like, General Morrow lives here. It seemed something straight out of Looney Tunes, like, who would possibly... Doesn't matter what the situation is, you don't say the boss is here. Someone would just go in there and toss a grenade there and be like, all right, that's it. It's all over. Got me back thinking about the Patriot. You know, we were actually chatting about it earlier this week, the Patriot, and when, you know, they get pissed at Mel Gibson's guys for targeting, like, lieutenants and targeting officers. And he's like, yeah, whatever. That's what we do. That's smart. That's just being smart. But it's just funny how at that time it was like, oh, how dare you possibly do that?
Well, everyone loves guerrilla warfare until it happens to them. Like when in Vietnam, the Viet Cong were doing it, we were like, yo, this is bullshit. Like, what are they doing? Like, they're not allowed to do these things, you know? So everyone loves it until, you know, it happens to you in your own backyard.
Okay, discipline. My first one was ask for forgiveness, not permission, stuck up. It's pretty much Rap's MO and always has been, and we love Mitch for it. This one, I feel like he a little bit maybe takes to the next level when he goes into the Philippines for his Anderson rescue. Not only does he usurp Kennedy by not letting her know they're gonna go, he does it to the president of the United States. The president has no idea. The president's like, the next day, he's like, oh, they went? Kennedy's like, it's just a cover for him. Like, oh, yeah, we saw a brief opportunity, so we took it. Which is fine, because it worked out, and it always works out for Mitch. But it's amazing how he is able to consistently just be like, you know what? I know what's best. I got this. And we love Mitch for it. I think there is some funny stuff in not only this book, but a lot of the other ones where, you know, he hates getting behind. He's like, red tape. You know, Mitch gets all pissed because there's this whole political machine behind it. And you and I think, agree on that. So much of the bureaucratic bullshit is what holds back actual progress. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it applies to Mitch and it works out fine because his morals and his goals are in line with what the countries are, and just he's has a general like good moral code. You know, he doesn't like to torture people. He doesn't think it's good information. He doesn't relish in murdering people, so he says, but he kind of does. But the whole point why those things are in place is because not everyone is you, Mitch. You know, like there's people who are potentially doing good in their mind, but are doing it maybe the wrong way. Look at David in this book, for example. You know, he's like, hey, I want to free Palestine, and here's how I'm going to go about it. Yeah, that's probably not the best way to go about it. You know, maybe there needs to be a little more red tape in those situations, but I just love how Mitch gets so mad that it has to go through all these checks and clearances and all this stuff. He's like, just let me go out there and kill the bastard. And it works for him more often than not. It's like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. But there's a reason those things are in place, Mitch, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get you, but I also think that just you shouldn't put him in that position if you don't want him to do what he's best at. He's trained as a guy that would go over to the Middle East and camp out on the street for 2 weeks, just pretending to be a homeless person just for the right time to go in there and kill the person. His mindset is whenever is best strategic for us to operate, I should do that. If he needs to be like constantly going back and forth and asking whether it's okay.
Oh, for sure.
Then they're limiting it. Like then he shouldn't be in that position. Then that's just fact of the matter. Then you're just taking away his like best asset.
Did you see Zero Dark 30?
Yes,
the Bin Laden movie. Yeah, it was great, and I just think about it sometimes with these books where they're almost certain that this guy is Bin Laden in this house, you know, but they can't prove it. There's no way to prove it. And so there's just like months are ticking by as they're trying to get a picture of him or something for them to actually be able to go in there and take him out, you know, because it's in Pakistan and it's a big thing. And I'm just thinking if this was Mitch, he would have been in there in a heartbeat and just been like, fuck it, I'm going for it. But yeah, that's just the way it is. What else you have to stock up?
Stock up. Austin Powers being right.
Oh,
I mean, this sucks at infinity. So I mean,
like which ones? Like Swedish penis and larger pumps are my bag, babe.
Well, let me get to it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things he's right about. Obviously, so, but not sure if he really caught a couple of these tidbits. First off, Vinnie Flynn's clearly an Austin Powers fan. I mean, that's just fact. Because I couldn't figure out his name, but the old MI6 spy that is following Prince Omar, that's just Austin Powers, right? I mean, let's think about this.
He was an international man of mystery.
Well, he was like 70 or 80, right? That's what the age that it had Austin Powers not been frozen, obviously due to the defreezing process, he couldn't control the volume of his voice. Mm-hmm. But had he not been frozen, he would be that age in around 2000, right? So also they described the British guy, I'm just going to say it was Austin Powers, as a womanizing British secret agent with a love for partying and catchphrases like, yeah, baby. Well, I might add the last one. But he was a womanizing guy I loved that he was like 78 and he was like checking out the bikini girl. And I was like, what? Like, all right. Yeah. So this was Austin Powers, I'm pretty sure. If that guy wasn't there, this David dude would still be, well, I guess he got killed, but he'd still be theoretically out there terrorizing everyone, right? Like,
yeah.
The only reason they knew about him was because of that.
I thought James Bond, but I like Austin Powers better. So
all right, why now? I'll drive home why it's Austin Powers. Austin Powers once said, D-Man, nobody used condoms except for who?
Sailors.
Only sailors use condoms. Guess what the Navy SEALs were using? AKA sailors. There was Navy SEALs there. They were using condoms at the beginning of the book on their weapons to prevent water getting in there. Only sailors use condoms, kid. He is right. I knew it. Hat tip to Vince for that one. Appreciated it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's a good call out. I was kind of interested that character wasn't really involved. I thought he was going to be more of a character in the story.
I wanted him and Mitch to have a conversation.
Yeah.
He's the suave, British guy talking about all this.
For Queen and Country.
I think Mitch would actually like him, but like they were complete polar opposites. It's kind of like the buddy cop thing where one guy's super serious and one person's like, go with the flow. That was the vibe I was getting, which I need them to interact somehow.
Yeah. Mitch cracks Miller Lights in the showers and this guy's drinking brandy out of a snifter, in the library.
Stiff martinis all day.
Yeah.
Dirty, obviously.
Dirty and stiff. Yeah, there you go. My second stock up was Seinfeld. Stock up.
Oh, God. We're just buying easy stocks at this point. We love it.
Yeah, very easy stock. So in Seinfeld, almost always and with a lot of sitcoms, there's almost always like an A plot and a B plot, right? Mm-hmm. So in my mind, some of the best episodes, the B plot is often better than the A plot. For example, The Voice, which is one of the episodes in the later seasons, like Jerry jokes about how his girlfriend's stomach has a voice, which inevitably gets back to her. It's not that funny of a subplot, but the B plot is Kramerica with Kramer and his intern, which is way funnier.
Amazing.
than the A plot. We have The Wife, which is with Courtney Cox before Friends. Jerry pretends his girlfriend is his wife and to get the dry cleaner credit or whatever. It's like a discount, 25% discount. Not that funny. It's like the dry cleaner ends up figuring out it's his wife. Not his wife. Not that funny. The B plot is George getting caught peeing in the shower at the gym and then Elaine having to figure out if she's going to back him up or not because her crush is the guy that found him. There's lots. The strike is famously the Festivus episode, which you could say the Festivus part is really the B plot, and the strike is really just Kramer striking at the bagel shop. My point here being is that the B plot in Executive Power, which is the Philippines plot line with General Morrow and the Anderson rescue, is better than the main plot of this book, and it happens at the beginning, really, the middle third, and it's kind of what kept me in the book. I mean, I'm always going to love a Mitch Rapp book, so it didn't make it so I couldn't read it or whatever the case is. But that was our Mitch Rapp. That Philippines whole situation was our experience with Mitch in his element. The rest of it was more of a David story, while Mitch is 2 steps behind him or 1 step behind him trying to track him down.
Yeah, we don't know how those dots connect until probably 3/4 into the book. So there's really, I kind of saw it more as like a Clear and Present Danger, which is like a classic 90s movie. Clear and Present Danger was probably one of my favorite movies when I was growing up.
Yeah,
but there's
same.
many things going on. Eventually they'll connect at the end. This one like didn't wrap up perfectly, obviously, because we never really got the Mitch versus David or David versus whoever, because he kind of just gets snuffed out at the end, unfortunately. But I do think this is like the classic 90s movies. They don't make these movies anymore, where they're just like 3 or 4 things going on, that don't necessarily, you don't know like how they're gonna come together, and then they
how did the Philippines thing tie into this, though? Tie into the main plot?
That is a good question.
It didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, did it tie into it? How?
It doesn't necessarily need to tie in. I don't think everything needs to tie in, but
no, I agree that it doesn't. It's fine to have like more than one. It seemed like Vinnie Flynn wrote this book and it was too short, and he was like, well, I have this other manuscript I've been working on for another Vince Flynn thing. Like, we could slip this in to, you know, the middle third of the book, and now it's a full-fleshed book, and it just shows Mitch getting back into the field.
Yeah. And also, when you were reading the Philippines part, were you just imagining Predator the whole time? Because that's all I was imagining the whole time.
No, I wasn't.
Probably the greatest 20 minutes of a movie ever. The first 20 minutes of Predator.
Yeah, okay. When someone says Predator, the first thing that comes to my head is the guy is the guy taking the dry razor to his face.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And pushing so hard until he bleeds. Like that. Oh, that gives me the skeevies.
Every single character in that was like you. I laugh every single time that anyone does anything. For the first 20 minutes, the character introductions, from that to like the macho stuff that's going on, it's hilariously awesome. Every single part of it.
A lot of macho stuff going on.
Yeah. It's like what Austin Powers would make fun of, but at the same time, I love it type thing, you know? So,
for sure.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a new... it's just so bad how bad the IP is these days. There's like a new Predator.
They're like taking the Predator serious. It's supposed to be like a...
It's like the village that Anakin kills, the sand people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they're humanizing these sand people that at the beginning were just like... Now they're doing the same thing with Predator. It's like a little baby Predators in there. It's like, what?
You can't be doing that. Yeah.
My next stock up was being in your first serious relationship. Stock up. So Rap just straight up does not know how to be a good partner in a relationship. I'm saying it here. He puts his shit first every single time, since you know it's for the good of the country, tells straight up lies to his wife or omits information under the guise of national security. If he didn't get shot in the ass, Anna never would have known that he decided to get back on the front lines, even though he promised her he wouldn't. And the reason why being in your first relationship is to stock up is because the entire time Anna's like, well, you know, Mitch isn't used to this. He's used to the bachelor lifestyle. He's always operated alone. Like, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, once he spends more time together, he's going to realize, like, there's always this, he's never done this before, so I got to give him a break, when really he's just straight up lying to his wife all the time.
I really didn't like the whole Anna and Kennedy and Mitch drama stuff. One, it's really not what the book is about. I get that you want to add in some... This is tough for a guy that's always acted independently and never really had a serious relationship to be reined in and like treated like that. But like having your boss shit talk you to your wife and whatnot, it's just like, that kind of sucks. Like that's... I kind of on Mitch's side for that.
I mean, I'm just doing it mostly for a bit. The Anna and Kennedy interactions were mostly cringeworthy and really were just bad. It's also just funny to me.
I really like Kennedy usually too, but
I
this
usually
book
do
I
as
was
well.
I'm like, do I misremember Kennedy? Because like this book, she kind of
and she like
sucked.
tears Anna apart, and then it's like, oh, wait, has like a quick internal like, wait, imagine how she must be feeling not knowing where her husband is. It's like, and you know, God bless these people, but this is the wives of so many people deployed,
right? Military,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
They have no idea where their significant others are. And they could be in some freaking outpost in the middle of nowhere, and they don't hear from them for weeks at a time, and they're just hoping they're okay. I mean, it's terrible, but Anna crying about it and being like, at least tell me where you're going. It's like, absolutely not. I work for the CIA.
Right.
The whole point here is also to keep you safe. So if I tell you, then you have information that someone else could take from you.
Yeah. I have this as a stock later, but my whole analogy for it was Belichick would, I always bring it back to the Patriots, don't worry about that, but Belichick would, like, someone would get injured, for instance, I think like Gronk got injured on like field goal pass protect or something.
It was field goal protect, when he broke his arm.
Yeah, and they were like, why would you ever do that? Why would you do that? He's like, he's the best at that position. So do you want me to put someone else in so someone else gets injured or other players on our team don't do as well or those people get like the whole concept of no, he shouldn't be in there. Like he is the best at what he does. So by not putting him there, you're now sacrificing other people's lives. So now other people's children and spouses are going to not see them because you're not putting the best person there. I mean, obviously that's a weird analogy, but you see what I'm saying? Like the whole concept of like, I selfishly don't want him out there, but he is the best at what he does. That's why he's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have him out there or find someone better than him then if you think there is. But from what we can tell in this book, he's the best. He's the GOAT. He's great of all time. So
yeah.
you gotta roll with it.
I mean, I agree with you 100%, but he also was the only person that got shot in that engagement. So
you know how like Marky Mark said that if he was on one of the 9/11 planes, it wouldn't have gone down like that. Like if Mitch Rapp was let loose, it wouldn't have gone down like that. That's the fact of the matter. So just think of it that way: is like the more you keep him not off the leash or keep him on the leash, more things are like that are going to happen. So more people are going to die if you don't let Mitch Rapp do what Mitch Rapp does. That's the fact of the matter.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any other stock ups?
Yeah. Last one: steamy or erotic novels stock up. I mean, here at the Buddy Book Club, we're always down to read outside our typical genres. We've read everything from 50 Shades of Grey, Fourth Wing. So there's some HJ stuff and Song of Achilles. Like we've read some of this stuff. But it's always nice when a book can span multiple genres because this one you would assume is mostly just action. But I didn't realize this also cross over to erotic, steamy novels. So, like, did you know that when coming in? Because the first chapter, you already referenced it a little bit. But I mean... Anyone else here?
It moved. It moved. In the words of George Costanza, it moved.
Yeah. I was just picturing a mix between, Daniel Craig when he comes out of the water, or Timmy Riggins, or Brad Pitt in Fight Club. It was just a mix of those three guys at this erotic vacation. I mean, I guess it was his wife was there also.
I was
really
about to say,
it's
funny that we're just like, no, that guy was super hot in there. Like
they were like, she's in a white thong and nothing else. I was like, I don't care. I do not care.
Go back to Mitch. What's Mitch doing?
Like when we talked about some of these other books where it's like a second or third book, and we were like, we need to reintroduce the characters because we don't remember them that well. Mm-hmm. This is how you do it right here. This is how it's done. Everyone take notes, all right? So it moved. Stock up erotic novels. I would just say, just a conclusion here, if you're going to read this book, before you get started, don't do it in a public place. Maybe draw a nice warm bath. Maybe light some candles. And really just enjoy yourself that first couple chapters. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say.
Yeah, it was funny. It was very much like, yeah. Even I'm thinking like James Bond when it's always him walking out of the water, It's whether it's Daniel Craig or why is his name escaping me? The one
Halle Berry does it too.
Well, yeah, I know Halle Berry, of course. That's the most famous one, perhaps.
Yeah.
But well, maybe not. There's some older ones.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. That's what I was thinking of. He was a gorgeous man as well. But yeah, it's just funny that this that scene featured both people and they were both scantily clad and getting sexual and whatnot, and both of our focus was like, what are his scars? I'm so interested.
What was his lacrosse stats again?
Yeah, Syracuse, right?
Yeah,
He's an Orange fan.
Yeah, he was basically Jim Brown. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Stock down, and I hate to say it, especially after we just gushed, but stock down Rapp being the coolest guy in the book. Before this book, it was always Rapp doing cool shit, blowing stuff up, throat punching terrorists. In Executive Power, though, it's David who does all the badass stuff. His ultimate goal is to free Palestine, and he's going to achieve that his way. So we're talking torturing and murdering a sadistic and sexually deviant Iraqi general, check. Double-crossing Palestinian terrorist leaders and blowing them all up while also then stabbing one in the face a couple times, check. Assassinating Palestinian ambassador to the UN, check. Car bombing Saudi ambassador to the UN. Like, these aren't all good acts, mostly outside of a couple of them. But they were the most exciting and thrilling parts, and he seemed like the most badass person in the book for the vast majority of it. It was really a David book. I'm not sure it was much of a Rapp book, because it was Rapp usually just like checking with his intel people back in the CIA, trying to track this guy down or track him to Prince Omar, who they eventually identified. So yeah, Rapp just wasn't the coolest guy in the book, so stuck down to that. Like, I'm just thinking back to the first one, whatever the one was, Transfer Power or whatever that one is, right? When he's solo fighting all the terrorists in the White House. the most badass. That's transfer of power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the most badass one. It's like John McClane in Die Hard is basically what he's doing, except it's in the White House. And now he's doing more of a behind the scenes thing, except for the Philippine excursion.
Definitely wasn't edge of your seat, or like the stakes weren't as high in this one as it felt like in other ones, where it's like you have a certain amount of time before XYZ happens. This one you're kind of just like following along, where other ones I think the stakes were set early, so you were getting way more pressure to it.
Yeah, they'd be like, there's this vote at the UN for Palestine.
Yeah.
They'd be like, all right, we'll just delay it. And they're like, it's like calling a bomb threat. It's like, all right, fine, we'll delay it. It's like, well, then the stakes just change. Like the timing doesn't matter so much. And also, how hard would it be to back off that? If you voted yes, then it was like, oh, well, hold on. All this crazy stuff just came out. Sorry. Like, we're not going to do that. It's like, yeah, probably. That's fine. What did you have for Stuck Down?
Stuck Down, see, meetings and bureaucracy. This is what I'm wondering, though, mostly is it the chicken or the egg type thing here? Is it that I like this book so much because Mitch Rapp just goes on and on about how much he hates government and meetings and bureaucracies and like all these things that I kind of
agree with
believe in? Or is it that when I was reading when I was super young, I liked this book so much that I adopted those personality traits? So that's why I'm not sure which one it is. Like, obviously you can be brainwashed, but can it be good brainwashing? Is that possible?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if anyone could unbrainwash me from this. But, like, I can't be changed.
I mean, I think parenting is mostly just trying to good brainwash your kid.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
You know?
Wow. That should be a really good book name, actually, honestly. If you wanted to write a self-help book, Good Brainwashing,
yeah.
How to fuck your kids up in a good way by by D-Man.
How to fuck your kids up right?
Yeah. Wow, that is so catchy. And you put like the star instead of the U, and people are like, oh my God, he almost said a swear in the title.
Yeah.
Wow, we might be bestsellers right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Self-help book. Let's write one.
Chapter 1, treat your kids like they're adults.
Yeah, that's your motto. Treat a 3-month-old baby like it's an adult. Hello, child. Try to shake its hand. Give me a firm handshake next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
My second Stuck Down was a feigned climax. No, I'm not talking about chapter 1. What the heck was the David ending? Like, honestly, Prince Omar gets his odd job like henchman to sneak up behind David and strangle him to death. And that's it? And then he tosses him over the side of the boat? Like,
yeah.
That's all we get from David? He was the Palestinian version of Mitch Rapp. He was almost like Bane. Like he had been, we don't even know what had happened between him and some of these Palestinian or terrorist leaders that he killed. You mentioned that they had like tortured him to some degree as a kid or something. So we have no idea if it's like a kite runner situation. He seemed like he had grown up on the street of Hard Knocks, but loved Palestine and had also then pretty much had been his sole focus for his entire career. So that was his like driving thing. I can just imagine the montages we would have of him training and whatnot. And then just to be snuck up on a luxury yacht and strangled to death was like, oh, okay. Like there's no coming to a head with him and Rapp at all, obviously. At the end, Rapp gets Prince Omar, and it's, somewhat enjoyable, even though Rapp's like, oh, I don't like to torture, or whatever the case is. He's like shooting both of his fucking kneecaps out to try to get him to say something, which is the truth. He's trying to get him to say the truth, but still, it's like, okay, that sure seems like you're torturing this guy. So that was somewhat enjoyable, the Prince Omar piece, but it seemed anticlimactic.
Yeah, I think it comes down to that he made David too likable of a bad guy. So would have been it wouldn't have felt good if Mitch went in there and shot him in between the eyes. You'd be like, well, that guy was kind of trying to do the right thing. Like, he wasn't a bad guy. There's a fine line between terrorist and patriot, and he was kind of trying to he thought he was a patriot.
Yeah, for sure. That's why he was the most interesting character, because we all liked him.
Yeah, we couldn't have Mitch kill him because he was...
Granted, I wonder how these things sell or are taken in other countries, because no one really cares about him murdering and killing that sadistic Iraqi general or the cases. But, murdering all those Palestinian terrorist leaders, like the people that he kills are also not really necessarily like the biggest friends of the U.S., let's say. Car bombs a Saudi ambassador, Palestinian ambassador. It's like, whatever. He kind of looked the other way on those. But I don't know. It's just he was such a interesting character.
Well, he did blow up a bomb in the middle of the U.S. The shrapnel and things probably killed a lot of people.
Yeah, but he was also very concerned about collateral damage. And they said when the people went to the hospital, there was only a few life-threatening injuries. They did mention that.
All right.
So, he was very interested in limiting collateral damage. He was like super broken up about when they shot those Hellfire missiles or whatever the case was into the town. So, I don't know. It seemed like he could have been a multi-book bad guy or even potentially worked together with Mitch. It just kind of sucks that Ben Friedman gets off how does it end for Ben Friedman? He just has to like give up his job at Mossad. Like that's it.
Yeah, does he do that? I don't know.
I think they forced him to give up his job.
True,
but it's 2 books where he was a total piece of shit. And then it's like, okay, now he just gives up his job. All right. Like, I mean, I guess that is the world of politics, but the ending, it just, unfortunately, just didn't slap.
Yeah, I agree.
What else do you have stuck down?
Last one, getting shot, stock down. I mean, obviously here, but what's the point of getting shot if you're going to get 0 sympathy? Even our boy Forrest Gump got unlimited ice cream and ping pong. Oh, my
God, I would do that.
You know what I mean? Like, I just assumed, hey, you can get angry at the person, but maybe wait a month. You know what I mean? Like, they just got shot, the person. But his wife is like, and his boss are both like, fuck you. Like, it goes back to my point I was saying before of like, Mitch is doing the most dangerous job in the world. And he is the most pressure on him, and he's doing what he thinks is right to help the country and help like I just don't understand how you could be. It's not like he went in there and killed 30 civilians and then got shot. You know what I mean? He's like he's saving other people. So it was a little weird. Also, I was maybe a spousal abuse stock up. I mean, I don't. You're allowed to punch people in the face now, but I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So stock down for getting shot.
It was interesting. I mean, it was interesting that she just like straight up cold cocked Mitch Rapp.
Right.
And I was like, oh, whatever. But I think maybe it's more of a stock down, like getting shot for the 20th time stock down. It's lost its luster kind of thing.
Okay.
So he got shot.
This is the first time she's gone through this.
He didn't get shot in the White House situation.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't care then because she was being saved. She's like, yeah, take a bullet from me. I don't care. But not these other random people that I don't care about.
Yeah, it's just like, he got shot in the ass on his like 15th time getting shot. So it's like less cool. It's less of a sympathy pity party than I'm sure the first time he got shot, if she was there, she'd be like, oh, but she knows. She's got all these scars on his body. He's like, oh, I got shot in the ass. And it's like, oh, well, sucks to be you. What was your favorite part?
I think you already talked about David being the best character, so I would say him for character. Favorite part, I already mentioned it, kind of spoiled it too, is just the Philippines and it being the predator. And also, anytime there's a sniper, for whatever reason, sniper, you tell me the distance the sniper is shooting from and that only 5 people in the world can do it and they're measuring the wind and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm in every single time.
Effect, he's like, hey, what's the moon at? That's going to affect the trajectory.
The tides or whatever,
what's the dew
right?
point? Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff, that could be 100% made up, and I'm 100% sold. I'm bought in for all of that stuff.
I mean, it's like the movie Shooter. It's not a good movie, but any snipery type scene, phenomenal. I mean, they're all good. Enemy at the Gates, like such a good movie. That actually is a good movie, though, I think. Or it's like pretty good. Good little basement unwashed sex scene if you're into that. Rachel Weisz, what's up?
I also love that all the Russians spoke English there in different accents.
Yeah,
perfect.
They
I love
did.
that.
Some were British accents, some were like
the whole faking a full Russian English accent for the whole movie. That's so stupid. I like what they do with that actually.
No, I think what they did in Hunt for Red October, I think that was the movie. They did it best there, which was they were speaking Russian at the table. And then the camera kind of like moves around, and as the camera's moving around, the language shifts to English.
Yeah, I thought it did the same thing for Enemy of the Gates, where they start by speaking Russian and they go to English.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, is there ever a bad sniper movie? Like I can't think of.
No, but it also brings me my question around that though is, are you just like really good at science then? If you're a sniper, you're just basically changing the scope settings, right? Like so that you know where to aim,
yeah, but there's
right?
lots of Yeah, there's
And then
lots of
like
factors.
holding your breath.
I don't know. They used to have a History Channel show, which was awesome. It was like the world's greatest shots, and it was half interviews and half like them recreating it. So, and they explained some of that. Obviously, like to a layman, people go to friggin' Marine sniper school and are like the baddest motherfuckers around, and they do this for months. But basically, you're putting all this stuff in, but then eventually you're also just aiming quadrants away from your crosshairs. So it's like, okay, with that you should be aiming 10 meters up and 25 meters to the left. So you're just like aiming at this empty piece in space,
Right.
hoping that the bullet falls onto the guy's head, basically.
Well, I mean, it's Leo in The Departed. The sniper's hands, they cannot shake ever. Like they're obviously elite level concentration already, but then you also have to add that with like science to it.
I mean, my favorite part is, I already said, it's the Philippine part. It's just jungle warfare fun, like them. The stuff with Coleman and the sniper, I really liked, them ribbing on him for being an older guy and him huffing up there. I liked the General Morrow stuff a little. I mean, the exchange between Morrow and Mitch I thought was really good. A little chess playing there while Mitch can't let it go. And then it's also the fact that these operations, nothing's ever perfect, and the fact that these SEALs are trained to be able to make the decisions in the field that a lot of people will look to someone else to make a decision for. It's like, no, he's a full operational person. He's like a fully formed unit. He can act on his own. He can act as part of a team. He knows what everyone else is doing. There's a lot of sports analogies in that as well, and I liked it a lot. But yeah, so anytime there's multiple SEALs working together, I mean, I'll get into it in Love actually, but yeah, just anytime that those people are working together, I'm a big fan. What about Loves? What did you love about Executive Power?
I don't really know anything about Israel-Palestine, so it was interesting to get like somewhat of a perspective. I thought I got a little in the weeds because I had no idea what they're talking about for half of it, to be fair. But I thought it was like, oh, this is the same issue. And this is people's mindsets over there of they're in a war constantly, even if there's no active war going on. Their mindsets are it's a war. So I thought that was an interesting perspective, especially since it's so relevant today.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time to be reading this book based on what's going on in the world right now. I as well am not like super well versed in that situation, so I don't even like feel like I could comment on it with any rational thought. It was interesting having this be like a book that was written in 2003, and it's only escalated in the last 20 years. So one of the things I loved, decent kit stuff. We always like kit stuff when it comes to KIT, not KID. When it comes to like Mitch Rapp books, I think the first one or maybe the second one, he explains like an extraction. He's talking about the helicopter and he breaks it down to like what it's for, and that was like how that book opened. This one, not so much, but obviously they talk about the Apache, which was pretty cool. We get some stuff in the Philippines. Raps, it's either like an MP10 or an MP5 scene when he like grabs the gun. He's in the shooting range on the ship, and he just starts like,
oh yeah, he's like, this one will do.
Single auto and just like absolutely crushes and then goes full auto. That was just
made for a movie. It's so amazing. But
yeah. It's like, yeah, this one will do. Even when he asks the other guy, he's like, how tall are you? The guy's like, oh, 5'8". He's like, 165. He's like, 163. He's like, cool, I'll take all your gear. Appreciate you. Some other stuff around the other guns that were featured, I enjoyed. I like when Vinnie Flynn likes to do it, and I'm okay with it. Anytime he wants to break down and kind of explain the tech, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, because he doesn't get super in the weeds on a lot of stuff, but when he does, it's about like military tactics, which I think we both appreciate. When I guess like a couple of the first books, he was like getting into the weeds like Volvos and stuff. He's like, this engine on this car, it's just like, wait, what? But other than that, usually he's kind of like right to the point, gets the plot going along pretty quick. So, but he gets in the weeds for that stuff. I love.
Yeah, tech and tactics is usually what he's going for. Do you have anything else on your love?
I did like that. He always does write terrorists in a pretty compelling way that like you're like, even if I don't agree with a person, I can see why they're bred that way and why they think that way. It does feel like a 90s action movie that we've kind of lost, where it's like now it needs to have some momentous thing that's going on, whereas back in the day it was just like we could just do a movie with like just like a few action scenes and things come together and like this one action hero that just kind of is the best, and that's the movie. Like, you don't need to have some like amazing plot for everything, right? So,
Yeah.
or now they'll make that movie and it'll be like with The Rock in it. It'll be like a comedy action.
Well,
There's
they
no, like,
they made a
serious-
Mitch Rapp book, American Assassin. Did you watch it?
Yeah, well, they casted. We've talked about it. They casted the absolutely awful casting for that. So
Yeah, I didn't see it.
it's with the dude from The Maze Runner. He's like a YA actor. I feel like he was in a Curb episode, and like they're just making fun of him for being like a little bitch. And I'm like, this is Mitch Rapp. No one would ever. You wouldn't be able to bring on. Let's just say, like, as your example for Die Hard, you would not be able to bring on Bruce Willis in his prime and make fun of him for being a nerd. Like, he would never. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. This person could never be a nerd. He's the fucking man.
Mitch Rapp was never in a Disney Channel original movie.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I think I casted when we did it before. Who's Bane? Tom Hardy. Like, Tom Hardy walks into a room and you're like, this guy might murder everyone in the room. I don't know. He's scary. Like, which is what Mitch Rapp needs to be.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily need it to be like that, but I'd be fine with stoic. Like even like an Eric Bana, someone like that.
Yeah.
Who is someone that you could believe would be in the CIA and that he can kind of blend into his environment, but you also know that underneath that Hanes t-shirt, he's jacked and he's going to like go in there and fuck some shit up,
The thing is, I need to picture him in the vacation scene. Otherwise, I won't do.
Yeah.
I just want to.
The other thing I had for my love was, and it's going to be a theme for all these books, I feel like, but just the pace. It was.
Yeah.
This was even arguably slower than the other ones we've read, and less of a page turner, but it was still a page turner. Like, I usually listen to some of the audiobook before bed. And this one I was having a tough time like actually falling asleep because I just wanted to listen to it. It was an enjoyable story. I was just like, I listened to one night right before they did the whole Philippines thing, and I was about to continue. I was like, once guns start going off, I'm not going to be able to stop until they stop. So I have to like turn this thing off and try to get my brain right. Yeah, Vinnie Flynn, always good with the pacing. Just a perfect beach read situation.
Yeah, for sure.
What about hates?
Biggest hate was my favorite skit from Chappelle Show was Black Bush. Do you remember that skit?
Yeah.
Really ties into this. Does the UN have any power? I remember in Black Bush, he's like, you know what the UN should do if they really have issues with me? They should sanction me. Sanction me with their army. Oh, wait, you don't have an army, so I guess you should just shut the fuck up. Like, that is the whole time I was thinking about it, and when I was like, why do we care about this? Like, oh, France is going to vote some way? Who cares about France? Who cares? This doesn't mean anything. So that was my biggest issue with this, is the stakes. Who cares about the UN?
Yeah, you think Israel's just going to bend over? The UN's like, hey, Palestine's now a thing. Maybe when it happened in the 40s or whatever the case is, but now I don't think so. But I guess they did based on the book, and I don't even know this stuff. Like, they did step in when, I guess, like, Palestine went into Israel, and then, like, Israel pushed them out, and they were like, oh, hold on, UN, come in here, help us. Like, what's going on here? It's like, whoa, you're the aggressors.
Is it, like, NATO that's going in? Like, who's going in?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, they don't have an army that they can actually be like, all right, we're going to do something now, right? So I think it's just more of like a pushing papers type. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, what about you?
For hates, it was really stuff that we've already discussed, just Mitch not being the center of attention. I need Mitch to be the center of attention. I needed more from him and David. I think David was kind of a lost character. He could have been continued on in this. Like, if David went and killed Ben Friedman or something like that, and now David's still out there, it would have been interesting for a follow-up book. I don't really know where they go with this, so I'm not 100%, but it just seemed like you could have stretched that character out.
Yeah.
Anything else for you?
No, I think I mentioned pretty much everything.
Okay, cool. We don't have any listener mail to that I know of, but I did want to read, this is the most liked and commented review on Goodreads for this book. Mm-hmm. And I think this guy is equally totally on top of this and then completely wrong. So that's why I want to read it.
Okay.
This is Dave from Goodreads. Sometimes I'm not sure why I keep reading these books. It's basically a guy's version of a romance novel. Spies, bad guys, action, cheesy dialogue. It's a literary version of the television show 24. That said, any story involving Mitch Rapp is a page-turner, no matter how poorly written or how much the author's disdain for things like the UN, diplomacy, and liberal universities seep through the story. Breakdown, +4 stars for mostly gripping story. -1 star for totally lame way to off the antagonist. -1 star for awkward discussions and moments involving Mitch's wife and his boss. So he's 100% right, but he's 100% wrong. It's why it was amazing.
Yeah.
If he changed his first sentence to "I'm sure I know why I keep reading these books," as opposed to "I'm not sure why," then I would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah," because yes, it is the guy's version of a romance novel.
But also, like, the concept of something being a page turner but not well written doesn't make any sense to me. If everyone could write page turners, every single person would write page turners. That's what sells the most books. So yeah. That's like being like, oh, kids' books are easy to write. It's like,
also, I don't crack a Vince Flynn book looking for A Tale of Two Cities. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's every single one of these reviews. I think if you went in being told this was Tale of Two Cities, then you got that, then I would be, oh, I get it. Set your expectations too high for a movie. And then you get kind of upset when it's not as good as you think it should be. Yeah. I get that. But this, if you've read 3 or 4 of Mitch Rapp books and you come in and you're surprised that this is what it is, then I
want Frederick Bachman to take a shot at a Mitch Rapp book.
There'd be a lot of jokes in there and a lot of depressing stuff going on. The reason Mitch isn't able to get along with his wife, it really ties back to his childhood when his dad was beating him relentlessly. It's like, holy shit, what the hell? That doesn't have to do with anything.
Keith, how many buddies you give it, and who's the book for?
Yeah, I think
out of 5.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. I think it was a solid book. I wouldn't skip it. Was it as good as? I mean, every single thing is trying to compare it to Transfer of Power. No, I don't really remember this one at all. Which I do remember some of the plots to other ones. So I think that kind of tells you that it probably wasn't on the upper echelon of Mitch Rapp books. So yeah, I would say 4. I think the standard is 4, and then it goes up from there. Like that's what you're getting for Mitch Rapp. That's just me. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I give it like 3.75 out of 5. It's tough because I'm then comparing it to like other Mitch Rapp books. Transfer of Power is probably as close to a 5 as you can get, you know? And then so far they've probably trickled a little bit from there. So yeah, they're trickling in that direction. I'm hoping they, maintain is fine. I don't want them to dip too lower. But yeah, 3.75. And I mean, this book works as a standalone book. You don't necessarily need the other ones. I feel like, who cares? The Mitch Anna relationship is such a small part of this book, and it doesn't really matter. So he gives a good general background without going too deep into the background to do it. So this is like you're walking, it's the summer, you're on vacation, and someone has one of those little library things on the corner of their street, and this book is sitting in there, and you're like, oh, hell yeah. I'm going to grab a 6-pack of Miller Lights. I'm going to go sit on the beach, and I'm going to crush this book while I crush those cans. So
yeah, that sounds terrific. That's a great point.
What's coming up next?
Next, we got our girl, aka our potential arch nemesis, Reese Witherspoon, along with Harlan Coben, who I've never read a Harlan Coben book.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a pretty famous. He was one of those guys that churns one out every year. Oh, okay. He's like one at the airport you'll see. They both wrote a book, Gone Before Goodbye, that's new. So that's a quick little crime thriller, one that we'll pop in here. She
gets top billing too. She's on the top of the book. He's on the bottom. I don't know if that matters, but it's funny to think that she's actually right. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, so we're going to do that one. And then we got a couple others in the docket ready to go after that. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. We got a live interview coming up at some point. And yeah, we're going to do Mitch Rapp, Reese Witherspoon, crime thriller. Then we got a fantasy novel. Is that what we're doing? Fantasy?
Yeah, that or the author one. We'll see.
We'll do both. Yeah. So we got those are all coming up. So this is exciting. What's the fantasy one, just in case other people?
Oh, Will of Many.
Will of Many.
Yeah, the Will of the Many.
Will of the Many. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited for some Reese Witherspoon talk and also some fantasy coming forward.
All righty. Well, good stuff.
I'll catch you for that one.
All right. Bye now.
Bye now.